when you book a hire car, sometimes small and boring and practical is okay. In this case, I've got a Nissan Versa Note. But other times you want something just that little bit interesting. Aloha! Welcome to Geek of the Road and welcome to Maui. We are just north of the island of Hawaii, after which the state is named, and on this island there is one of the most beautiful roads in the world. And to go and drive it, I've got a Mustang. On the bridge behind me is the Hana Highway. It's famous for how it winds through the rainforest with 620 curves and 59 bridges as it makes its way from Kahului in the north to Hana in the east. Every guidebook on Maui will tell you about the highway, hyping it as the island's best road trip experience, while also warning about the perceived dangers of the road. And this is a road where overconfidence could be especially bad, but more often it's the slow drivers who refuse to pull into the turnouts who proved to be a bigger frustration. However, the best advice I had was to make sure I started off with a full tank of gas. The thing is, this simply isn't a Hawaiian Evo triangle or Nordschleife. The road is far too tight and twisty for that. And besides, this is really on the tourist map. There are waterfalls and beaches and lookouts all over the place that attract streams of people every single day. But as an amazing scenic drive through beautiful landscape with the occasional opportunity to put your foot down, this is almost unbeatable. So, let's talk about this Mustang. Ford finally put the independent rear suspension on it, so they've kind of caught up with technology the rest of the world's been using for a little while. They've also made a right-hand drive variant of it, so you can buy this brand new from a Ford dealer in the UK or Australia, for example. And also, controversially, they put a 4-cylinder turbocharged lump in the front of it as an engine option as well. Some people might say that the only true Mustang is a V8 or a V6. Being a rental from a mainstream company, it was always going to be the 4-litre turbocharged lump. And if you look at the numbers, that's maybe not such a bad thing. So the engine in here, 2.3-litre twin-scroll turbo. It does 310 brake horsepower, 320 newton meters of torque, and at 1600 kilos, it's lighter, torquier, and more powerful than the V6 option. And thinking about those numbers, sure, I'd like this to be the V8, but am I disappointed it's not the V6? No, I don't think I am. Much as I'd like this to be some leery monster that's forever kicking the back end out, actually this car handles quite nicely. The LSD just makes its presence known nicely on hairpin bends and if you're just pushing it on the way out of the corner, but even with the traction controlled off, admittedly I haven't been trying too hard, but it's not sliding everywhere. The standard mode on this automatic gearbox just makes the car feel flat, which is a pity. But the sports mode does a much better job, keeps the car in a better gear without necessarily lugging the engine all the time. However, still, if I were driving the car manually and I was making some of the gear changes it makes, I'd be a bit embarrassed. But put the car into flappy paddle mode and it just comes alive. Despite my misgivings about the automatic gearbox, it's easy to have fun with this car. And Ford makes sure you know you're driving a Mustang, with styling hints like the triple rear lights, while details like the puddle lights and illuminated door sills distract you from the slightly cheap feel of the interior. Given the relatively low mileage on this car, I was disappointed by the number of creaks and rattles I could hear. However, if the stereo would have had any way of plugging in my iPod, maybe I wouldn't have noticed it so much. Now you've probably noticed the scenery behind me is neither rainforest nor sea. And that's because I'm not on the Hana Highway anymore. I think I've found somewhere that's even better. I'm at 4,000 feet on the side of the dormant Haleakala volcano, on a road that leads all the way to the summit at 10,000 feet. Down here, it almost looks like I could be in the English countryside. However, as you drive up through the clouds, it just becomes stunning. The tourist in a Mustang is a cliche in Maui, and many are driven hesitantly or poorly. However, with both the Hana and Haleakala highways, the journey is just as much of an experience as the destination, and I wouldn't have wanted anything less than a nimble convertible to complete it in. Many people visit Haleakala for sunrise or sunset. However, there's a reason there's an observatory built at the summit, because after dark, the clean air and lack of light pollution mean the starfield is incredible. And if you stay to gaze at it, you get the added bonus that the road will be empty for you to enjoy on the way down. However, my flight to Los Angeles forced me to drive down during sunset on my last evening, when again I had the road to myself. And being careful not to cook my brakes or miss a hairpin, the combination of the empty flowing road, beautiful view, and colourful sunset firmly places that drive as one of my standout driving experiences. And so that was Maui in a Mustang. Thank you for watching, and join me again next time on Geek. But wait, maybe you can do even better with a mainstream rental car. The thing is, this simply isn't a Hawaiian... Hello!